Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round 3 of the Raceface.Pro iRacing GT3 Pro Division. And here tonight we are at the beautiful Donington Park Racing Circuit. 3.49 kilometers of absolute incredible racetrack. And I've got to say, Donington, one of those circuits I personally love. It's always a tricky one that tends to test the drivers, see who will be able to get their way to the top, and who will be the top of the charts on consistency. Donington's definitely one of those tracks that if you can get it consistently right, you're in for the money. The trick is getting it consistent. But talking about consistency, let's take a look at our current grid at the moment as Luke Lucchesi leads out the pack with Yuri Swart running in second place, putting on a phenomenal show. And really looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's been in some difficult challenges. Ryan Ottsen's running in third, followed by Bagger Krobler, Sean Stradham, Sergei Sarkov, Luca Logovic, Henry Mayer, Mark Heron, Fleming Bauer, Jacques Sever, along with Nico Kilman. Bradley Surley in 13th position, Jotan van Aswagen in 14th, Jacob van der Lith, followed by Paul Gerber, Yasin Ishmael going to be battling it out. Bert Kildenace, Noah Hendricks, Faztar, and Werner Swart currently out on track that are putting in times. Justin Elof, Samai, and Christopher Radloff needing to keep going, and Samai. It's good to see Christopher Radloff will be returning to the circuit. It's been a while since we've seen Mr. Radloff. I know he's been keeping rather busy of late with now being the married man and also going and working a lot with race cars, getting back behind the wheel of the Alpha 1 eSports car, joining with his teammate of Ryan Ottens. Good to see the team pulling themselves together. Jutech Simworks going and setting up the 10 first and chilling out in the corner. Glad to see you guys there. Jutech Simworks, for anyone that wants some great products from sim racing, definitely has got quite a reputation there. But talking about the times, 26.2 being the quickest for Luke Lucchesi, but can he keep that going? Because the championship is where it's at. So, give you an idea where the championship stands. We have got Julian Familiaris, who, I see that's for some odd reason showing 0 on that. Well, let's try and bring that through to show the points. Not how it's all there. Right. For some odd reason, not pulling the points properly. But we're in for a great race. We're in for an exciting time, and I do think that drivers are going to be really pushing themselves to the limits of what they can do and who's going to be able to get the top running order. That being said, though, we've got to be well aware of the points. Julian Familiaris does lead the championship for some odd reason. It's not going and bringing through. And let's see. Nope, not going to bring through. It's going to be that person. Right. Julian Familiaris does lead out the pack. And the standings, it's Yuri Swart on 140 points, Julian Familiaris in second place on 129, Luke Lucchesi in third with 114, Justin Elof running in fourth, Robin Bricknick in fifth, Gianluca Fabio coming into the show, he is running in sixth, followed by Ryan Ottens in seventh, eighth, Henry Mayer, followed by Fleming Bauer, Sean Stradham, Jean-Jens van Rensburg, Bego Krobler, Luca Logovic, Sergei Sarkov, Byron Mitchell, Paul Gerber in 16th, followed by Danny Herbert, Werner Swart, Jason Cotti, Werner Skuman, Nico Kilman, Jacques Sever, Noah Hendricks, Bradley Surley, Noah Karen, Sean Sims, Steven Kutzer, Jonathan van Volkswagen, Faz Tar, Ruben de Toy, Mario Rez, Daniel Rowe, Chris Erasmus, Malcolm Pringle, Florian Keller in 35th, with Jakob van Lith in 36th, Myers Musa, Yasin Ismail, Willem Butter, and Cabello Matsamai rounding out the pack. And so taking a look at how it's going. We've also got one of the infamous drivers I see sitting in the grandstands going and supporting, and there's Niall Bullion. Now, for many people that don't know about Niall, he arrived, drived, dominated, left. That's Niall's style, and good to see him going and shouting out for his team of that LNR. Good to see the guys out there. Robin Bricknick, one of our international drivers in the Audi R8. Keep an eye, very close eye on him. Done an incredible job racing throughout the season. Yasin Ismail also. Yaz has been involved in the world of sim racing for quite some time and actually has passed on a lot of gear that has gone through the different ages. He has had CSP pedals that got passed on to the likes of Yanaman Price, and now later has actually made it into my own thing. So Yaz, thank you very much for upgrading your gear. It's always good to have. He's running in 11th. Christopher Radloff currently running in 17th, trying to put a time down on the board. That 1:26.291 yet to be beaten. Yuri Swart running in second place. Justin Eloff 0.09 seconds off Yuri Umpi Swart is looking to put a bit of an impact there. And the likes of Yaz Samai, who is out going and having a bit of fun. He's yet to put a time on the board. Once again, Yaz, thank you very much for the pedals. Really appreciate it, Buzz. And he moves himself into 22nd. That does complete. All our drivers have done a lap around it. It's good to see. And GT3 Simworks going, let's go Jotun and Nico, who are going to be racing. And I do think Jotun van Arswagen and Nico Killerman running in 20th and 21st at this point. Then the two McLarens, they're hoping to make a bit of an impact. But as we go down to the drivers getting themselves ready here at the stunning circuit, we are in for an absolute treat. It is Luke Lucchesi leading out the pack, along with Yuri Umpi Swart running in second place. And, well, more on that Yuri Umpi. I do believe he actually is selling one of his race cars, which is quite sad to see, but lots in the pipeline for him. Justin Eloff running in third place. He's looking to make a big impact, and he's got Ryan Ottens to contend with. A former champion here in Raceface.Pro. So far, still hunting down the championship in iRacing. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Robin Brugnick in fifth, going and leading out our pack of international competitors coming in and enjoying themselves. Sean Stratham running in sixth with Begor Krobler, Henry Mayer, Luka Logovic, Sergei Sarkov, all the way from Lithuania. He's been here for quite some time. Yes, and Ismail Yakov and Lith a little bit further down the order. Going through, Mark Heron going to put the power down. We've seen him many times before on British circuits doing a rather sterling job. With Jacques Ever of the Rhino Utility Machine going to be having a great time out there. Bert Gildenaes along with Fleming Bauer, Christopher Radloff, Paul Gerber, Bradley Surley, Nico Killerman, Johnson van Arswagen along with Yaz Samai, Werner Swart in 23rd, followed by Noah Hendricks in 24th. A little bit further down the order, Fars Tar rounds out our final position. So folks, as we get ready to rock and roll for our pro division here tonight, all eyes will be on the RDSA Pantera racing machine of Luke Lucchesi, who will square up against friend/rival Yuri Umpi Swart. I'm not going to say Yuri Swart because that will be going and having him with his dad. Yuri Swart, a massive petrol head. Now he watches his son race all the time. Now getting to see Yuri Umpi Swart out in action. Justin Eloff behind will be looking to square up with them. And Ryan Ottens is not to be taken a fool on this. As it is a short formation lap, the drivers will make their way around. They still have a mandatory pit stop that will need to be served during the course of this race. It is a 45-minute race. You've got to ensure that you can keep it going. Open setups on these cars versus the likes of the Gen 3 supercars and the likes of our BMW M2s, which are closed setups. These are open setups. It means whatever you need to do to make the car work in 45 minutes at the best pace possible, including adjusting your fuel to work in your best way possible. Our pros rounding out the hairpin that has been quite a difficult one for our Raceface ACC drivers last week. iRacing looking to make a big impact here. Lots of spares in the pits. That is going to sort out. I know GT3 Simworks has gone out that extra mile with extra bits of aluminium and such to ensure that they will make sure those McLarens get across the line. L&R, same thing, gone and hijacked parts from their own garages. Lights on though, and away we go racing. Luke Lucchesi side by side with Yuri Umpi Swart, and it does look like Justin Eloff trying to put himself right into the middle of the pack and go for a little bit of a defense, but now Robin Bricknick getting swamped out, tries to go for an undercut. Ryan Ottens immediately trying to have a cut back onto him, not able to get it done, and Robin will have to slot himself in to the fight. Side by side, Yuri Umpi-Swart and Luke Lucchesi go, not giving each other an inch until eventually Luke Lucchesi got the run, but a little bit wide, compromised his drive. And here comes that twin-turbo Honda, absolutely powering its way through. Late on the anchor is going to have the advantage inside line, and you can see Justin immediately putting his nose in to try and get that pass done and dusted. Henry Mayer falling down the order, though. Something has gone on with Henry Mayer, who is, in the wall. Valnar Martian, unfortunately, calling home and saying, listen, I've got a problem here. Fars Tar, along with Sergei Sarkov, trying to put himself back on track. So there has been a few shuffles during the course of this grid on the start of the race. And drivers trying to figure out what they can do as we see Paul Gerber onto the pressure of Fleming Bauer, trying to get past him. Immediately having Nico Killerman trying to figure out how he can get by. Paul Gerber dives on the inside. The team trial driver going into the hairpin. Two McLarens screaming at each other. It is definitely Lando Norris going in and having a good shouting match there. Fortunately, it is going to be Piastri in to have a fight on the way through, as it is going to be a rough time for him to do it. And Nico Killerman now will have a bit of straight line to try and capitalize on the moment. So great racing off the start of the bat as Yuri Umpi-Swart starts to open up the gap. Luke Lucchesi feeling pressure with Justin Eloff running in third as they power their way through. Henry Mayer will be into the pit, serving his first pit stop. I mean, this isn't going to be a huge run. He's going to have to get a little bit of work done to the car after having some contact. So we're going to try and find where that contact came from, or the initial contact after the green that threw Henry Mayer down the order, and quite a few of the other drivers as well went off circuit. So this is one of the shots, and we can see Henry Mayer squashed up by one of the Porsches, gets himself turned around in front of one of his L&R teammates, and while trying to just get himself sorted, everyone minding out of the way, and that is just pain on next level of note. So unfortunately, not ideal circumstances there for the likes of Henry Mayer, but by getting his pit stop done and dusted now, he has an opportunity to keep going in the race where others will need to pit. So Henry's got to put his head down and really get going. Robin Bricknick chasing down Justin Eloff at the moment, with Ryan Ottens close on his tail. And Ryan trying to put the pressure on, just can't get the nose to turn in as yet. Going to rather wait it out that fraction longer. See if he can be a part of this fight. A little bit further back, Luka Logovic in the Chev, trying to power away from Sean Stradham, carrying the damage on the nose from early on in the race, with the likes of Henry Mayer now trying to get the hammer down. So number 14 McLaren of Sean Stradham getting into the toe, pulling himself along, seeing where he can get any sort of drive underneath him. Not quite getting it though, and it is starting to take a bit of an impact, as we do see Werner Swart a little bit down the order as he's trying to make up some time. He's got Sergei Zarkov onto the back of him. Nico Killerman further up the road is watching Mark Heron of the Asymmetric Racing team going and fighting out with Van Larswagen, who is in the Jotex full sponsored McLaren, and that was very close between the two. But survivability came in, but now Jotson has to deal with his own teammate of Nico Killerman. And hopefully Nico not going to go and wipe out his teammate here. He's going to continue to drive and stay in for the fight. So good to see the two having a good go there. Luka Logovic feeling the pressure from Sean Stradham, putting a huge amount of drive onto the back of him, as we do have a few changes up. Nico Killerman gets past, and there is just madness happening in the background. And I think that may have actually started out with Jacques Aver by the looks of it. So let's take a look. This is Jacques Aver. He's in the Rhino utility colors. Right onto the brakes, into the hairpin. Did the kick out? Yep, it did. And into his own teammate. And that just landed up with Paul Gerber getting knocked as well. Unfortunately, landing up in a bit of a knock there. You can see that nose crunched. Mark Heron also landed up, getting himself with a bit of damage. So a few cars taking a bit of an impact and now needing to get a pit stop done and dusted. Not only is it unplanned, but it is completely coming into, well, our race is now changed. Bert Hildenace going and getting chased down by Yasin Ismail, and Yasin is going to keep a huge amount of pressure onto the back of him. Yasin coming back into the world of iRacing from the Pandacity team. And it's good to see Yasin, who was formerly part of the Pandacity team. Looks like he's gone and put himself back in there to get himself up and going with Werner Skuman and such. Great to see. I'll see the reoccurring names coming into the show, being part of the fun. Nico, oh, so this is Noah Hendricks has got Nico Killerman trying to look on the inside. Jocksaver carrying that damage on the front of his car, and looks like it's causing a bit of a concertina as Nico Killerman goes on the dive. Noah Hendricks runs out a little bit wide. He's going to have extreme acceleration here, and Nico's going to have to really rely on top end to be able to snatch into first place, well, up a position into turn one. Unfortunately, it might not be the case as he gets walked out to the fringes, and immediately you can see Nico losing out a little bit of drive. His teammate going and utilizing the toe as he's feeling the pressure from Werner Swart all over the back of him. And Werner's not backing down as we do lose the Mustang of Sergei Sarkov. Unfortunately, a little bit on the grass. He's able to save it, but loses out a position to Farstar there. Not ideal in that running, but was keeping so close. A little bit of aero wash comes in, takes that pressure off the nose, and throws him down the order. So not ideal, but unfortunately, you got to be in it to win it. And sometimes, well, a little bit too close may be problematic. Bego Krobler trying to make up some time, and he is in the hybrid racing and going and giving it everything he's got, chasing down in the Porsche. He's got the likes of Luka Lokovic going and chasing the likes of Sean Stratham ahead. Sean still keeping a good bit of pace at current, is wanting to just really get on the hammer as quick as he can. But take a look out towards the front pack. Justin Elof fighting it out for second place, currently running the quickest lap time of the race, 26.562 on that last effort. And he is really keeping the pressure onto Luke Lucchese, trying to see where he can get on by. Where is it going to be a possibility? As we jump on board the roll bar of the beautiful Porsche 992R GT3. And Justin hoping that he can just continue to drive fifth gear, fourth gear, down to third. Wants to keep the power on. You've got to be careful of that turn 9, turn 10, not to get caught out. It can land up in a very nasty bit of impact as the drivers make their way through. Quick chicane a little bit further down, and drivers are going to have to really figure out where they are needing to be at this point. Down the order, they're absolutely giving it everything he's got. Unfortunately, not able to do it, and got to be very careful with track limits. That's one thing that these cars will start to run into repeatedly, and track limits can be detrimental to your race. So many of the drivers I need to keep an eye on. Luke Lucchese sitting with 3 off tracks, Justin Lilloff with 2 off tracks, Ryan Ottens with 5 off tracks, Sean Stratham sitting with 7 incident points, and so is Paul Herber sitting with 7. Mark Heron actually sitting with 6. So there is quite a few drivers that are landing up in a bit of a problem in the early stages of this race, and are getting very close to the likes of a penalty. Yuri Piswat leads out the pack though, and is having a dominating effect, with Luke Lucchese battling it out with Justin Elof in third. Robin Brucknick running in fourth. Ryan Ottens is sitting in fifth place. A little bit further back though, we've got Sean Stratham and the likes of Luka Logovic. Bego Krobler running in 8th. 9th place is Christopher Radloff. Yasin Ismail running in 10th. 11th is Bert Hildenace. Bradley Surley in 12th. Yaz Samai a little bit further down. He's in 13th, with Jacques Sever in 14th position. Still carrying that damage, but is doing a darn well good job to keep it going. Noah Hendricks running in 15th. It's got Nico Killerman on the Dutex Simworks going and putting a lot of pressure onto the back of him. Seems like that aluminium chassis is working rather well. And Werner Swart in 17th, along with Joseph van Arsvagen. And Fars Tar a little bit further back, getting past the likes of Sergei Sarkov, who's battling a little bit with that Mustang. Paul Herber a little bit further back in that. Fleming Bauer trying to put a huge amount of chase as well, as we do see Paul Herber looks for the inside, backed out of it, not wanting to get into a bit of a tussle there. A little bit further down, Jakob van der Lith, along with the likes of Henry Mayer, still out on circuit. Good to see him out there, still putting in the fight, still putting in the work nonetheless. Fast-Star runs out wide, immediately has the likes of Sergei Sarkov to get on by, and nearly Paul Gerber. So Fast now trying to battle his way back and see where he can get any bit of momentum at this point. We're very, very close with Paul Gerber as the two of them come with a slight touch, nothing too hectic at this point, but it has allowed the likes of Fleming Bauer to get back into the mix. So do you see these drivers starting to feel it, as we are getting a bit of passing in from Werner Swart, who is having a good look at Nico Killerman. They've gotten past Noah Hendricks, and now it is all for a chase. The Altered Carbon Racing up against the Jutech Sim Racing Works of Nico Killerman, trying to go around the outside. Both McLarens, both having the same issues around the circuit, and immediately Nico Killerman losing out that position. Werner Swart lined himself up for that inside apex. Noah Hendricks is going to have a go. Oh, and that is one of the SpaceX cars. I do see that might be Bert Gildenes. Yes, it is. Going and losing out a bit of drive. He's down into 21st, going and falling off track, unfortunately. Not ideal running for him, but not a great time at all. So let's try and take a look on a quick replay. Ran out wide into the dirt, lost it, caught it, lost it, and caught it, kept it out of the wall to just bring it back. So very, very close indeed. So, oh, and lost it again. Unfortunately, dirt on the track makes it a little bit lively, but still, stellar rejoin, might I add. Not coming on at a 90-degree angle, lined himself straight just to ensure that he keeps it going. So, 10 points to you, buddy. Well done. Absolutely great stuff. Paul Gerber feeling the pressure from Fleming Bauer. The two teams, Logistical Nightmare Racing and Team Tryhard, with a very, very long history of versing each other in the world of sim racing, especially here in the world of Raceface.Pro. Always glad to see guys reigniting those massive races, and also good to see that the guys are reigniting the passion of fighting it out. Noah Hendricks and Nico Killerman having a good go at one another, with likes of Van Aswagen feeling the pressure from Sergei Sarkov, Paul Gerber, and Fleming Bauer keeping a huge run on him. Luka Logovic and Begor Krobler keeping more of a consistent pace, not pushing each other. Yuri Umpiswart opening up a second point to his competitors and making sure that he is not going to be caught out in this running order. He wants to try and keep a good bit of pace. Remember, we need to get a mandatory pit stop done into it. But there has been something brought to our attention, which is a very wandering thought. Now, usually in the pro division, we do have certain slowpokes, in very big inverted commas, the turtles running around the track. Unfortunately, it looks like this time round they are not here this evening for our pro division. I do know that we do have a couple in the pro-am division that will be racing, and it's a bit unfortunate to see that. Sergei Sarkov loses out a bit of drive to the likes of Jotun, and Paul Gerber dives up on the inside, lunges in, gets the pass, and now Sergei a little bit further down will have to just keep it consistent, trying to just hold against the back pressure from Fleming Bauer and Bert Gildenes, who fell off a track earlier, returning to the circuit. So he is ready to get back into the fight and ensure he can go in for a good going. So, I mean, this is always great to see drivers pushing themselves that extra little bit. And everyone needing to stand on the top to see where they're going to be. A quick look to Altered Carbon, try and see how it's all going in the race. But this so far is our biggest fight. Is 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, all in for a monster go at one another. You can already see Sergei Sarkov try to have a look at Van Arswagen. He sees Paul Gerber's landed into the dirt, and now Paul Gerber on the back of the train. Fleming Bauer takes a dive up on the inside of Sergei Sarkov, gets it done, and Bert Gildenes also having a good look, tries to go for the pass. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get it all organized. It's going to have to wait it out just that little bit more. But Paul Gerber now onto the back of this train as the cars gently come around the final corner, all but guessing who is going to be pulling into the pits first to get their pit stops done and dusted. Now, we have had a couple going into the pits, and let's quickly take a look at those. that have been into the pits. Jaco van der Lith and Henry Meyer are the two competitors that have gone into the pits. Unfortunately, one retirement during the course of this race thus far is the likes of Mark Heron. He unfortunately wasn't able to get that car out of pit lane and get racing, which is a bit unfortunate considering of his stellar efforts in racing. Seems like a little bit more problems kicking in for him, but he will be putting in the extra support towards the team. Likes of Noah Hendricks having a go at Nico Killerman, starting to open up that little bit of a gap. Back up to our class battle, well, right at the top. It is Justin Earloff still keeping the pressure on Luke Lucchesi, trying to figure out where can he get the drive and what can he do. Robin Bricknick losing out a little bit of momentum in that Audi R8 as he sees the Honda and the two Porsches start to open up the distance and get that little bit of pace ahead. So great to see competitors really stepping up their game, being a part of the show, needing that bit of work throughout it all. Fleming Bauer putting the pressure on Jotun, and Jotun having to suck up a lot of pressure being put onto him. And this is incredible racing on his part, having to deal with it, but he's having to compete against some very talented drivers out there. And Fleming Bauer, who has fought it out more than once, has been part of the Martian Racing of previous, before joining up with LNR. They were a dominating force, actually represented South Africa in the World Community Challenge in ACC. Henry Meyer and Fleming Bauer, if I'm correct in that. I stand to be corrected, but I do sort of have a recollection of that. And we see Jotun out on the circuit, putting in a monstrous fight. Also, got a lot of background coming in from the world of iRacing, and he has been slowly but surely getting his way up through the order. Still D-class at the moment in terms of safety rating, but definitely showing what he can do with 1,100 iRating, and slowly but surely pulling himself into the 2000s after a little bit of a downfall. Jotun runs out a little bit wide, and so does Fleming Bauer, having to get off the power. So he's still seeing these three constantly having a go at one another, trying to battle it out. And Bert Gildenace is one driver that we haven't been talking much about. The Ferrari 296 driver is incredibly quick and just needs that little bit of consistency under the belt to be able to get ahead of these two. Drag race down the line, Fleming Bauer and Jotun now needing to try and make their way through. This is going to be to turn one. Jotun going and closing off turn one a little bit, and Fleming Bauer having to switch lines. This may be a bit compromising towards the top end power to make his way through. Werner Swart having a go at Jacques Ever. Now this is going to be interesting. Jacques with a bit of damage to the front end of his car. He has yet to get into the pits to get it repaired. He's obviously haven't gotten the flag to get the car into the pits to be sorted out, meaning that it's non-heavily mechanically damaged that requires the car to be fixed, but more aerodynamics of the entire nose is missing. The mechanics are fine, but the nose is missing. There's nothing really dragging as well. He will be experiencing a lot of frustration. I do think that car might have a slight bend to it from the in-car if we can get on board. There we go. Thank you very much, Tim. So a little bit of fighting. There will be a bit more graining. He has to be very gentle on the throttle and on the brakes. As we can see constantly, Werner Swart going and putting that pressure in the rearview mirror. You can see on the dash cam there as they move their way through. Fun fact though, for anyone out there in the world of GT3 racing, you might be wondering, how come there's no rearview mirror, as a term of physical mirror here, in the car, but if we look at the likes of one of our front engines, which would be the Ford Mustang of Sergei Sarkov, you will see there's a big rearview mirror on his side. Many people ask why GT3 Racing is having that little bit of a change. Well, that's quite easy. While these two duke it out, you got to remember the Ford Mustang is based on the production car. So it's a McLaren, the 720S, but due to how the production cars have their stuff, GT3 was meant to be the production version of GT Racing to surpass the likes of GT1 and GT2 of back of old that became far too expensive. To run those cars became too expensive, you make them to more production models, much as what we're seeing with LMDH becoming more production models as well. So the Mustang naturally comes out with a review mirror to see out the back, where the McLarens, Porsches and such don't have a review, they don't have a back window to look out of. They utilize the camera system on their car. So a bit of an interesting one there, and that is why these cars have to have a mirror that mimics or works exactly the same as their road-going counterparts. Remember, road-going vehicle has to be the same thing as the GT3. So a bit of fun there, bit of exciting times there. Couple of cars going into the pits and getting out. Justin Eloff being one of our top 3 to get himself sorted out. Luka Logovic is next to come out of the pits, with Sergei Sarkov in the pits getting his work done and dusted all the way from Lithuania. Good to see him out there looking to try and put a bit of drive. That means Yurion Piswat and Luca Kezi finally got a bit of breathing room as they make their way around the circuit. But with a couple of cars needing and have completed their pit stops, we have so far got Jakob van der Lith going and trying to make up some time. Luka Logovic leads out the pack of those that have done their current pit stops. Everyone else, on the other hand, Justin Eloff is leading out those that have completed these pit stops. He's lying in 13th place, and he is putting serious pressure on the likes of Werner Swart. Now, remember, Werner Swart still trying to get the pass done and dusted to the likes of Jacques Sever, who will be pulling into the pits, getting some work done on his car, and this will be the make or break for it. Fight out for the lead, though. 0.4 of a second, Luke Lucchesi and Yurion Piswat. So Luke Lucchesi finally dialing up the wick after losing Justin Eloff. Now he can concentrate on closing up the gap. Now, Yurion Piswat, part of the Durant Motorsport team, done incredibly well in the world of racing. A young gun out there going and fighting out. And he is up against Luke Lucchesi, a very experienced driver of, well, current era. And is definitely going to be having a tough time out there between the two of them. Always great to see. Justin Eloff going and catching up to Werner Swart, who lost out that little bit of drive to Jacques Ever, and now we'll have Eloff looking to get on by, utilizing a bit of a Japanese theme on his Porsche and trying to be the samurai instead of the ninja. He takes the fight straight to the front, gets past the likes of Werner Swart, and will instantly have his eyes set on Jacques Ever. Now, Jacques is going to be very careful here. The Rhino utility car has got serious damage to the front end of his car. He's got lack of top end that's going to have to protect him out there, and he will have to get some really broad shoulders to do it. He's going to be definitely that left flank that you rely on in the world of rugby. Well, unfortunately, he's the left flank, not really the right, and Justin Eloff taking the pass in the right-hander, gets it beautifully hooked in, and Werner Swart tried his luck as well, was not able to get that pass done and dusted. He definitely leaned into it, though, to just try and say, hey, listen, mate, I'm coming through, and the door was firmly closed on him. Fleming Bauer keeping the pressure on Paul Herber as he stands, as they fight it out, and pulls into the pits. Very, very interesting. Sean Straden, Robin Bricknick, Bradley Surley, and Fleming Bauer all into the pits and getting their pit stops done and dusted. It's a bit of an awful pit to get into, but if you can get it right, it's going to work out in your favor. Yurion Piswat, though, after having so much room to pull away from the likes of the Acura, pull away from the likes of the Porsche, now needing to battle his way through. And I mean, this is where it gets a bit tough, as he constantly keeps the pressure. These two do talk to each other in a Discord. Don't get me wrong. They are talking to one another, but both are ultra competitive as Yurion Piswat dives into the pits. And this is going to be interesting because, remember, he's keeping an eye on Justin Eloff at the moment, who is in 8th position and will be making his way around the final corner. Well, in due course. He's a bit far out, actually. So he's trying to make up some time to try and get the pass done and dusted. And how it's all going to work out, though, is Yuri drops down the order, 5th place. Ishmael will come on by, so Yasin will get on by. Yaz Samai will also get on by before the likes of Yurion Piswat is able to get out probably might. No, Yuri just getting out ahead and really timing that one to the T. So he's in 6th place. Yasamai will be it. And Justin Elof, who's just only got into turn 1, will be getting a little bit frustrated as he's lost out that opportunity to go and take the spot away. So he's going to have to really work hard there. Fleming Bauer onto the back of Luka Logovic. It is McLaren versus Chev. Chev's going into the world of mid-engines. Now, many people might think this is a very new thing for Chevrolet. Actually, not quite. Chev has done it in the past, not in this body as a GT3, but anyone out on the iRacing service or anyone that was a big fan of Daytona prototypes, Chevrolet actually did have a Daytona prototype that was rear mid-engined and went racing. So something to keep an eye out, and so far the car has been rather consistent in its racing. The McLaren, on the other hand, extremely quick in a fast line, but does eat its tires over time, and that has been the constant worry for a lot of these drivers. Luke Lucchesi into the pits, and he will lose out, so Ryan Ottens will take the top spot with Bego Krobler in 2nd. Bego Krobler, Ryan Ottens. For many people that don't know, those out there that don't know, these two have a history. Ryan Ottens and Bego Krobler have a bit of a history in the world of hybrid racing, and well, at the time was Hybrid Academy. And Bego Krobler was the old dog, been there for a while and been part of it. Ryan Ottens was that young gun that came in and really showed what he could do, which was great. The two of them came to some fantastic blows, because we do have a car off circuit, and that may have been the likes of, was it Fleming? No, that was Fast Tar. But we do have Fleming Bauer, yellow flags for him. We'll get back to what I was talking about. There's Fleming Bauer trying to rejoin the circuit after having a bit of a whoopsie-daisy moment, and will be trying to get himself up and going. Oh, and I think he's also discovered that something has broken on his car, having to get the car sorted out. Not ideal circumstances for him. Going back to it, Ryan Ottens and Bego Krobler, it was the young guns versing one another. Ryan Ottens going and proving that he has got quite a bit of pace, Bego Krobler being that consistent pace. And also, in his right, is a champion. Christopher Radloff making his way through, going out there and having a great bit of fun. But we are starting to see Bego Krobler. No, that is one of the team tryout cars that was going out of pit lane on his exit. So we'll keep an eye on who that was. So, Christopher Radloff now running in 2nd place. Yurian Piswart running in 3rd. But now we look at our pit stops. This is where it gets interesting. 45 minutes of racing. Who's done the pit stops, who hasn't? Yurian Piswart leads out those that have completed their pit stop, with Luke Lucchesi running in 2nd place and Justin Elof running in 3rd. The only two that have not completed their pit stops is Ryan Ottens and Christopher Radloff, trying to run the clock down a little bit there to see how it's going to work out for them. Going to be a tough fight though, don't get me wrong, as Robin Bricknick loses out of position to Werner Swart, trying to make up that little bit more time. Johnson van Arswagen into the pits and is now trying to get himself out of pit lane, along with Nico Kilman, the Jutec Simworks drivers, now taking a little bit of a gamble with that stop. Didn't quite work out in their favor, and they instantly come back into the fray as Jacques Ever, who's now replaced the nose, and will have Sergei Sarkov going and chasing him down. The big power of the likes of Sergei's Ford will look to put the pressure on the Rhino utility, which is more solar and backup power systems. Well, I think there's no backup that you can put in front of a big burly V8 unless you're taking the McLaren and having a good go at it. So fantastic to see drivers going and making their way through. Paul Kerber was the car coming out of the pits, and he's been into the pit lane twice thus far, and he is sitting with 18 incident points. Fleming Bauer with 18 incident points, and Luka Logovic as well, which would explain why those drivers are yet to get back out onto the circuit. Talking about those that have scored a bit of incident points, it looks like Luke Lucchesi is on the chopping block with 18 on his side, and Bego Krubler 19 on his side. Yasin sitting with 18, Yasamai with 18, and the likes of Jacques Ava with 18. They will get that they have to do a drive-through. Drive-throughs can be done 3 laps within the race. It is just frustrating, but it also takes you out of the fight. And this you can earn by getting off tracks. Dropping off a wheel onto the dirt, it compromises your drive, and it lands up with the horrific time for getting in and out of the pits. Both Alpha 1 Esports pulling into the pits. They will hand over the lead to Urimpy Swart, as we see Robin Bricknick keeping the pressure on Werner Swart. Now, Werner, the South African Altered Carbon, taking on Robin, who is across the waters from the Netherlands and has been doing a fantastic job out here in the world of Raceface. And I mean, don't take it away. I've been on the track with Robin, and I can tell you, a very, very fierce competitor in any battle. And when his back's against the wall, it is always the toughest time to deal with him. Werner Swart as well, a competitor that is not going to back down from the fight. Noah Hendricks, ultimate in analyzing information and will process that. He is a human calculator, I can tell you that. Jacques Eva, a phenomenal competitor that's now going to put the pressure onto him. And Jacques Eva's biggest one, same as Sergei Sarkov. These two drivers are very unpredictable on the circuit. When you think they're going to duck, they're going to dive, they're going to go left, they're going to right, they actually don't. And that's what makes the competitors rather interesting. They don't do it in an unsafe manner, but they definitely keep you on your toes. And this is what I love about the pro field. This is what I love about the world of GT3 racing here at the Raceface.Pro iRacing Sprint Series. The amount of drivers and techniques that are utilized to ensure that they can stay in for the fight is incredible. Yasamai now has got Werner Swart and has got the likes of Robin Bricknick chasing him down and looking to get on by. I mean, this is going to be incredible to see how it goes, but we are going to land up with a proper fight. Now, I'm just going to bring up on our system, where you see those X's, that is the number of incident points that each of the competitors have gone and received during the course of this race. If you're getting up to 18, guess what? You're getting close to a drive-through, and that is going to hurt. As we do see Werner Swart trying to go around the outside. Robin Bricknick also taking a brave approach, going for an inside, quick cutback, and Robin's going to try and key it on the power as Werner Swart having to go defensive. Now it's going to go into the hairpin. It's going to have the advantage, but going to kill out the drive. He's got to be very, very cautious on this. Gets onto the power, and Yasamai immediately starts to get the drive and starts to pull out of there. This circuit being absolutely brutal at the moment, and all needing to contend. So for our closest battle, Yasamai, Werner Swart, Robin Bricknick at the moment, that are in for a great fight. And a little bit further up the road, Bego Krubler dealing with Christopher Radloff at this point. The two of them also very familiar with one another. Two former teammates in past life, now coming to blows out on the circuit, which is incredible. Both in Porsches, so no one has the advantage of you have more straight line power than me. They're both in the same machinery. Only differences that come in is how you've set up your car and what your driving style is going to be. What are you going to be able to do, and how will you climb through the ranks? Jacques Ever, a little bit further out onto the dirt, has opened up a bit of a fight for Sergei Sarkov to get into it and have a go at him, as they allow Noah Hendricks a little bit of breathing room, who will be seeing the fight a little bit ahead. To Jutex Simworks going to be running a little bit behind. They are keeping each other company and will be looking to get some points valuable to the championship to ensure that they can be a part of the racing. And that's always a fantastic time. I love to see it, where you start to think about the bigger picture. What's going to happen in Donington here? We're now 34 minutes and 46 seconds into this race. We've got a 45-minute race. You don't want to bin the car now. You want to keep it going. What are the tires going to be looking like? And looking at the drivers as they race through. They had to change tires during the course of their pit stop for it to count. So they're all on fresh set of boots here. There's no increase on that, but it's what they've done in fuel that can make and break the race. So running through our order as it stands, Urimpy Swart leads out the pack. Luke Lucchesi running in second. And third is Justin Eloff, and they are trying to carve through
some of our backmarkers out on the circuit. Ryan Ottens runs in 4th place along with Sean Stratham chasing him down. Beggar Krobler gets a jump on Christopher Radloff, and now they are fighting it out. These two are going to absolutely throw it down into the hairpin. Christopher Radloff around the outside, not able to get the drive. Beggar Krobler opening the steering up just a fraction to go and force the likes of Christopher Radloff to get off that power, but he's got the inside line now. Will he return the favor as Beggar Krobler goes out a little bit wide, and it's going to be a drag race between the two. Christopher Radloff, Beggar Krobler heading down to turn 1. Going to be hard on the anchors. Who's going to be first in, though? Looks like Beggar Krobler is going to try and put his nose in. Still side by side, clean and close racing. But Christopher Radloff carrying a lot more momentum through. Gets the pass done and dusted, and will lead out between that little battle. So well done to them. Yasin Ismail running in 8th along with Jaco van der Lith a little bit further back in a great tussle with Bradley Surley onto the back of him. The Pandassi Esports trying to fight it out against the Rhino Utility at the moment, and these two are hammer and tongs against one another. A little bit further back from them, Yas and Mai dealing with Werner Swart and Robin Bricknick at the moment, both keeping a huge amount of pressure on the likes of Yaz, but also on one another. Noah Hendricks running into that same problem as he's got Jacques Ever and Sergei Sarkov keeping him for company. A little bit further down is Joseph van Arswagen along with Nico Killerman. Bert Kildenes, Paul Kerber, Farstar, Henry Mayer unfortunately retiring out of the race. So there has been a few retirements during the course of this race. Ron Bricknick losing out a significant amount of drive on that last one. And let's quickly go and see what happened to him. Oh, put 2 wheels on the dirt. Got the slide. Still trying to get the recovery there. Well done on the recovery. But as he rejoins the circuit, here's where the pack get on by. And suddenly, he's got the Dutex Sim Racing Works team immediately onto the back of him while he's trying to scrub those tires clean during the course of this race. I mean, so close. But unfortunately, yet so far, in the immortal words of Linkin Park. Jacques Ever, though, not going to be using any Linkin Park songs at this point. He is going to be putting the hammer down. And Noah Hendricks is starting to hear the bells of who they toll for as he goes and tries to open up the gap with the Asymmetric Racing team. They have been hyper-analyzing all their strategies and plans to ensure that they can stay in the fight. And so far, all Asymmetric Racing team drivers are in a fight of note. Werner Swart keeping the pressure on Yaz Samai. Bradley Surley from the Pandacity team look to keep the pressure on Jaco van der Lith of the Rhino Utility as they fight it out. And I mean, these are a couple of trains sitting in the top 10 and just out of the top 10 that are absolutely on top of one another, not giving an inch to one another, and which is always incredible stuff. Sergei Sarkov, unfortunately playing piggy in the middle at this point, has got the likes of Jacques Ever just a little bit ahead of him and keeping a bit of a run. As the Netherlands coming in for a fight, Robin Bricknick not backing down from the fight. The Audi R8, a incredibly paced car, will look to go around the outside to get it sorted out. Not going to win. Sergei Sarkov is keeping that Mustang cleanly positioned to hold apexes in and out, but he's got to ensure his driver's going to work out here as Robin late on the anchor swings it round very late. Loses out that drive, not working out in his fight. Jaco van der Lith and Bradley Surley going elbow to elbow with one another, and now it's a drag race heading down to turn 1. And it looks like Bradley Surley got the pass done and dusted. Jaco van der Lith going and saying, well, and not quite sure, a bit of a touch and go there, but I do think it was all in good pace. And Beggar Krobler serving his drive through. So let's take a look at the fight. Bradley Surley around the outside. Ooh, a bit of contact with the likes of Jaco van der Lith. They keep the power going. So was a little bit of contact there, and a quick flash of lights just saying, listen, let's be a bit cautious here. We both want to finish the race, and we don't want to be going and smashing our cars, considering we are just in that top 10, not wanting to lose out any more positions during the course of this race. Beggar Krobler keeping the pressure on Christopher Radloff. Great drive for him. Up on the inside, looked for it, couldn't quite get the pass down, turns it back around, gets into the toe, pulls himself along. Incredible drive. We'll have to see how it all works out during the course of this race. Can't peer in for the inside. He is trying his luck, though. trying to see where exactly Christopher Radloff is going to lose out that little bit of pace. Once again, both competitors know each other from past and present. Christopher Radloff has been out of the seat for quite some time and looking forward to getting back into the world of sim racing. So far, he has been on a good wicket at this point. Just needs to carry on that little bit of momentum, and with Bego Krobler not going to give him any reprieve. So there is no welcome back cake for going and being passed on there. Nico Killerman keeping a fight with his teams as Jacques Ever pulls into the pits. And I would beg to wonder, Jacques, yeah, I think Jacques went in for a drive-through penalty that is needing to be served. So there it is, Jacques Ever, a Rhino utility, due to the amount of off tracks, gets a drive-through penalty, serves it, and gets going once again. Very, very interesting, though, to see how drivers are fighting it out. Luke Lucchesi on the charge there. He is sitting with 26 off tracks on his run, so he's also having to get that done and dusted. Robin Breakneck's keeping up the pressure to the likes of Noah Hendricks. Really trying to keep the power in, see where he can go. Sergei Sarkov has dropped off the back of him as they put the hammer down, slipping the cars around. Robin really drifting that Audi R8 as he continues to mount the pressure on Noah Hendricks, who so far has done a brilliant job of not letting it get to him and continuing on the drive. And I'm sure he's talking to his teammates ahead, where Werner Swart is keeping the likes of the Semi rather busy between the two of them as they make their way through. Time running out, though. 42 minutes completed in this 45-minute race. And if you're going to go for it, you got to go for it. Luke Lucchesi going and giving the chase to Yuri Swart. Try to get him under braking. Couldn't get it done. And I do suspect, after running a little bit of formation flying there, we will start to see a bit of a chase. Remember, the championship is still wide in the air for these competitors. And at current, Yuri Swart leads the championship. Julian Familiaris, who is not here today, will be missing out on some keen points. Luke Lucchesi, running in third, will be moving up into second position come the end of this race. Can he score a few points to maybe snatch first? Well, on his current outing, he's going to really put the hammer down and try his luck. I think it is going to be a bit tight, though, to get it done and dusted. So our drivers really seeing what they can do and where can they put the fight in as they battle their way through. Unfortunately, multiple retirements during the course of this race has taken a few out of the running order. Not ideal for that, but in the world of sim racing and even real racing, you have it. So Henry Mayer, unfortunately, out of the running. Fleming Bauer out of the running. Luka Logovic and Mark Heron out of the running. So both LNRs, Luka Logovic, our international competitor in the Chevrolet, is out. Mark Heron was our first retirement out of the race. Now will be scrounging for a few points during the course of the championship. Yes, and Werner Swart still keeping a great battle to one another. Bego Krobler and Christopher Radloff on top of one another. And in the closing stage of the race, with a single minute to go, this will be the final lap for our competitors. And Yuri Swart going and baiting and switching Luke Lucchesi there down the way. And this is, it's not going to be close enough for Justin Elof to go for that third place, or that second place. But Luke Lucchesi has an opportunity here. You can see he's really got the elbows out against Yuri Swart on the final lap. And this is going to be a huge, huge chase as Yuri Swart battling to keep it all together. That Honda starting to feel the pressure from the Porsche, and it's going to be all powers down to get Luke Lucchesi across as they fight it through. Final lap for the win here at Raceface.Pro at Donington for round 3, and this can be a big swing in the championship for both drivers at current. And this is going to be all hair-raising as they make their way through the chicane. Luke Lucchesi keeping in the tow. immediately trying to get back into that slipstream. He looked for the inside line, not going to work. Go late on the anchors around the outside. Going to go for a possible switchback as he gets back onto the gas. Not able to do so. One corner to go. Yuri Swart, middle of the circuit, defending, switching around. Luke Lucchese around the outside, trying to get the momentum. Looks for a possible switchback, gets on the power and just unable to do it. Yuri Swart takes the win ahead of Luke Lucchese with Justin Eloff running in third. Ryan Ottson's in fourth, Sean Stradham going and keeping ahead. But Christopher Radloff is fighting it out with Beggar Krobler. They are yet to come across the line, and they are throwing it hammer and tongs. Beggar Krobler doing everything he can. One corner to go. Is he going to go for the send? I'm going to think he's a little bit too far back on this one. And Christopher Radloff, if getting the drive well, will be coming across the line, securing that sixth place with Beggar Krobler in seventh. Eighth place is going to be Yasin Ismail, along with Bradley Surley running a little bit further down. But question comes in. Jaco van der Lith dealing with Yaz Mai, who's on the defense, holds the inside line. Werner Swart, Robin Bricknick trying to get the drive. Jaco van der Lith gets a terrible exit. Yaz Mai going to have a good go at him. Looks for the inside line. Werner Swart trying to go defensive. Robin Bricknick around the outside. Whoa! And both Werner Swart and Robin Bricknick outbreak themselves. Beautiful go and bring back from Yaz Mai, threading it down the middle. Robin gets the acceleration down. Werner Swart will have to be content as he comes across the line. He's actually lost out quite a bit. Sergei Sargov got 14th. 15th was likes of Werner Swart. So no Hendricks gets the run there. Werner Swart on the final thing absolutely killed his drive and lost out more positions in that. Oh man, the heartbreaking. Nico Killerman and Johnson coming across the line. They're going to be happy with their performance. Jacques Ever, despite it all, gets across the line. Great to see it there. Bert Kildenace done a phenomenal job along with Paul Gerber going and running our field. Fostar would be our 21st position here at Raceface.Pro. Absolutely wow, oh wow. What a race had by all. What an incredible, incredible race had by all. And I can't wait that we can have a chat to our drivers to give us a bit of an insight of how this all went and how the racing went during the course of this, because it was wild, folks. It was absolutely wild here at the stunning circuit of Donington in the UK. Let's take a look at our results, though, for the race at hand. So, looking at our results, Yurian Pissoir takes a win, 0.3 of a second ahead of Luke Lucchese. Justin Eloff running in third, Ryan Ottson's in fourth, Sean Stradham in fifth, Christopher Radloff in sixth, Beggar Krobler in seventh, Yasin Ismail, Bradley Surley, Jaco van der Lith, Yaz Mai, Robin Bricknick, along with Sergei Sarkov, Noah Hendricks, Werner Swart, Nico Killerman, Johnson van Arsvagen, and Jacques Ever rounding out in 18th. Bert Kildenace and Paul Gerber running in 20th. Going a little bit further down the order, though, 21st goes to Fars Tar. And first of our retirements, Henry Mayer, unfortunately, going and losing out a bit of time there. Luka Logovic, Fleming Bauer, and Mark Heron going and losing out into 25th position. Unfortunately, 22nd to 25th, retiring out of the race. Well done to those that did continue. It's always great to see them, and it's always great to see how they make it going. So that being said, what an exciting round. And what a great race indeed here at Donington. And we're looking forward to having a bit of a chat to some of the drivers during the course of it. So we're just waiting for a couple to come through. And I think first of those to come and have a chat to us will be our third place man, Justin Eloff, which will be the first time in the box with him. Justin Eloff, welcome to the commentary box. Absolutely grand to have you. And third place here at Donington. No easy effort. How are you feeling after that?
Thanks for having me. Honestly, I am pretty disappointed. I don't think I brought my best today. But hey, third is third, so I'll take it.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, consistency is king. And that is what we're going to see more and more from you. Not bringing it, feeling that you're not bringing the A game, but still third place is no easy feat. What was the game plan heading into this race? I mean, Donington, a very difficult circuit, a mandatory pit stop needing to be served, and the competitors being rather quick out there, and considering you're fourth in the championship, was there mounting pressure?
Well, the plan was qualify, pole, and drive away, but obviously that didn't work out. The quali was okay. I don't think I would have gotten pole over Luke, but I definitely could have gotten second. And yeah, the opening lap, I should have been more aggressive with Luke as well, following Yuri through. And then I miscalculated the fuel, so I had to pit a little bit earlier than I wanted to and got stuck in traffic on my outlaps. But even without those things, I don't know, I just didn't drive as well as I could today. So next time, a bit more consistent, a bit more fast, basically.
Well, I can tell you that you're incredible out there and you have earned the respect of everyone in the grid. So you might not thought you brought the A game, but you definitely showed a proper fight. So keep your head up high, buddy. You did a fantastic job out there. And honestly, that Porsche looking stunning every time. Before I let you go, though, anything you would like to say to all the amazing petrol heads out there, to the teams out there, including your team, including your family, but all the amazing petrol heads, all the partners that we have here at Raceface.Pro, and to your competitors. You're allowed to get a little bit spicy, but keep it PG. Obviously, the kids are around. But the floor is yours, Justin Eloff.
I really appreciate you guys hosting this race. I appreciate you guys trying to make it fairly professional and competitive. And I mean, well done to Luke and Yuri. They drove exceptionally well and exceptionally consistently. They were definitely the better drivers today, unfortunately for me. Looking forward to next time, and good luck.
It's going to be an incredible one. Justin, it's going to be a great one. We look forward to seeing you out at Snetterton, keeping in the UK, the Snetterton 300 in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. Enjoy your time.
Oh, Justin Eloff, folks. Third place. And despite feeling a little bit down on the whole matter, I've got to say, done a fantastic job in securing valuable points for his championship. Can't take that away from him. Moving on to our second place competitor, though, Luke Lucchese, the man, the myth, the legend, coming into the commentary box. Luke Lucchese, welcome to the commentary box. Absolutely fantastic to have you with us. What a race out there, but also seemed like it got rather difficult in the world of Raceface. The track itself being not favorable to most.
Look, I think overtaking is quite difficult here. You almost have to underdrive the car to do good lap times. Obviously, the start of the race was quite chaotic. There was a lot of side by side, and I think that's when we got the advantage, to be ahead. And then even though I closed it down, like it's very difficult to pass here, unless the guy in front makes a mistake. And I mean, he didn't make any mistake, so good race. I mean, I enjoyed the race. It was a very hard fought race. So that's what we're here for.
The game plan coming into Donington, very tight circuit. The Porsche 992 GT3R, a mid-engine that's rather nimble. Did you have any ideas of how to get ahead on the competition, considering Julian Familiaris is not here, which means you inherit that second position in the championship, but unfortunately, Yuri Piswart getting that little bit more distance in his current holding?
Yeah, look, I think the problem with the Porsche is that it's very hard on its tires, so the tire temps get elevated really quickly. So the tire change was welcomed. I managed to close him down, with the gap that he had. So the car was good. It's just we didn't really have many overtaking opportunities, and then I got a slow down, which cost me about 2 seconds. So I think if I didn't have the slow down, I could have pressured him a bit more.
And maybe pressured him into a mistake, but wasn't to be. So it's still a long season, so let's see what happens.
Well, there's still so much to go on. Honestly, incredible stuff. But Luke, with everything out there, what's the game plan heading into Snetterton in 2 weeks' time? Difficult circuit out there. Knowing the stakes are getting a bit higher here in the world of Raceface.Pro, iRacing GT3, and a lot of the new drivers starting to challenge you a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's Justin was really quick this race. Hassling me the first couple of laps. So I'm actually lucky I managed to break away. I think it's because he pitted early. I don't know if he got stuck in some traffic or what. But yeah, it's just about getting a good start. You know, if you compromise yourself on the start, which I think I did. I think I lifted a little bit just before the green lights. And then Umpi got a run on me and managed to stick it around the outside. So if you start doing side by side in the first couple of corners, it's really difficult to try and pull a gap, which is ideally what you want to do at the start of the race. It's not really it's not easy to pass in these GT3s. So yeah, pole is very important, and obviously the first lap to try and stay ahead. And I think if you can do that and you can control the pace, then it's a win should be in the bag. So hopefully it comes. But yeah, anything can happen. This is racing.
That's it. Well, folks, keep an eye out for the Master Series. Luke Lucchesi heads up that. It's broadcast by Second Gear Productions. Big shout out to them for coming and being a part of it. But Luke, before I let you go to enjoy the celebrations, I mean, second place is no easy feat on a grid like this. But anything you would like to say to the amazing petrol heads out there in the virtual grandstands, and to all our partners here at Raceface.Pro, the teams, the families, and also the competitors out there. You're allowed to get a little bit spicy, obviously a bit of challenge, as the youngsters said, we're coming for you. Anything you would like to say before we let you enjoy the celebrations and, well, a little bit of a rebuttal, as one can say?
Well, yeah, first of all, thanks to Raceface and yourself, obviously, for hosting and commentating. Always a good stream. Nice to watch back after the race. To the fellow competitors, eat my dust. No, it's actually very nice that we've got the ACC guys coming over, giving us some competition. The more competition, the more fun it becomes. Nobody wants to just run away with it up front. So we're in it for the racing. I mean, you win some, you lose some. That's just unfortunately how it is. And then obviously just a shout out to all the competitors, for making the racing nice and clean. I wasn't aware of any major incidents behind me, so I think it was generally a clean race. And then just a shout out to my folks who always watch all the streams on all the leagues that I do. So yeah, shout out to them.
So, yep, definitely a shout out to the Lucchesis. Thanks for all the support. I've seen you guys go and race, especially with representing South Africa overseas in a couple of the races. So
yeah,
keep an eye on that one. Luke Lucchesi, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on your second place. Well deserved, well earned. And now the fight continues to try and go for that championship at the end.
Thanks.
Great to always have a chat to Luke Lucchesi. And man, oh man, a man that has so much knowledge underneath him in the world of sim racing, and very knowledgeable in normal motorsport as well. So definitely keep an eye on him and the Masters division. Moving on though, taking the flag, Yuri Umpi Swart. Sorry for dragging you up. I know you were mid-conversation there.
Yeah, I was all into it, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's... Well, you got to be used to microphones being jammed in your face at this point, because you have been on a streak of late, leading out the championship, coming into the race. Julian Familiaris not being in here, but you had to fight it out with Luke Lucchesi, and the little Honda has done an incredible job. How are you feeling after that?
Sweaty. I need to have another shower. No, that was rough. That was probably the hardest league race I've done in a long time. I'm like out of breath. I didn't have the pace to win that race, but yeah, it was. I just kept it consistent, didn't make a single mistake. And the pit stop was lucky. I just came out the pits ahead. But if Luke got ahead, it was done. It was tickets. So I'm quite feeling grateful that I got the move done when it mattered in the beginning. Well, I knew it was then or nothing. It was then or second, so... Yeah, very happy, considering the car didn't feel great on the track. I mean, you could see it was quite a affair of Porsches, so I felt a bit outnumbered, but in the end it pulled through. So yeah, but it was a sick race. I really enjoyed that a lot.
Well, looking at the last lap, let's take you back to that last lap. We saw you middle of the circuit, very defensive, trying to hold back Luke Lucchesi. At first it looked like there wasn't going to be a fight between you two, but then orders came off, and we do know that you two have a chat, you are in the same Discord, but it seems like at that precise moment everything got quiet. Take us through that lap.
No, for sure. No, look, I actually of late like racing kind of by myself. I don't like being in Discord with folks I'm racing. I just feel like it takes away from the immersion of it. So we weren't actually in the same Discord, which makes it more fun, so But all in all, yeah, no, I knew if they are genuinely honest, I think if there was 1.5 or 2 more laps, he would have had me. The tires were finished. I cooked them coming out the pits on the out lap because I knew I needed to stay ahead. He would have definitely overcut me. And obviously, coming out the pits flat out is not good for new tires. But all in all, yeah, I think going towards that last chicane, I had quite hectic shakes because I knew like if he gets the momentum out of here, you get that exit understeer, you can't get into the fend early enough. Any snapper oversteer out of there. But yeah, I really reckon one more lap, I think it was Luke's race. I'll happily say that. So he drove an insane race, had one slowdown, gave me some breathing room. But I think even without that slowdown, it would have been very difficult to beat him. I think he was coming. If it was a 50-minute race, I think you'd be interviewing him right now.
Well, you know what they say. To be first, you have to be first crossing the line. And so far, you've managed to do that. Opening up the championship a little bit further, are you feeling a bit more positive about getting the win, or are you a bit of an error of caution on it?
I'll be honest, like, I'm trying to just take it as it comes with this. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm trying to minimize the practice to just minimize that if I have a bad race, it doesn't hurt that much. So I come into it sort of like blind, not knowing who's where, and it kind of it's a bit of a treat if I'm on the pace, and if I'm off the pace, then I must just work harder, you know what I mean? So I think this track I feel was one of the worst tracks for the car I'm in, so I think for the next one, I'll take the same approach because I actually really enjoyed that. Bathurst I did do a bit of laps for, but who doesn't like driving Bathurst? So, but no, I'm excited for the coming races. I think the championship, yeah, hopefully it stays tight. Like that was awesome. I really don't mind putting my computer on a Tuesday on for that. That was sick.
Absolutely great. Well, it's always fantastic to have you out on the grid. And for many people that don't know, Yuri Umpiswat does have one of his cars for sale. So if you're down in the Cape Town area, get in touch. It is a insanely quick vehicle. Just putting it out there. Yuri, before I let you go to enjoy the celebrations, and you've walked away yet with another trophy underneath your belt, and to get yourself ready in 2 weeks' time to head to Snetterton 300, which is a very, very tight circuit. Anything you want to say to the amazing partners we have here at Raceface.Pro, to the amazing petrol heads going and tuning in from across the globe to be part of the incredible action here at Raceface, and also to the competitors and teams that are challenging you? And, well, don't know if you heard the conversation with Luke Lucchesi saying to all the drivers, eat my dust. What's your rebuttal to that one?
Luke's just full of nonsense. Don't listen to him. But no. All in all, just want to say thanks to obviously Stephen and Doe. Like, you guys put together such an amazing show for everybody, and honestly, like, it's one of the main reasons why I still, like, you're the only thing I put my sim on every 2 weeks for. Like, I don't even do anything else. Don't even drive in the week, nothing. So it makes it worth it for me, and I really appreciate that from you guys, and how you guys just give to the community and don't expect anything back is really, really amazing. You guys, without you guys, it would be kind of pointless for me to play sim, so thank you for that. And yeah, to the competitors, I mean, it's super awesome having such a tight field again. Like, I really feel the competition is amazing. I really wish, if my friends are listening, any of the Byron, Troy, Jason, if any of them want to come back and come fill up the top 10 with us and top 5 with us, it would be awesome if they're listening. But yeah, all in all, thank you for everything, and I'll sure to be back in 2 weeks' time. And yeah, Luke can eat my dust. It's fine.
There we go. And yeah, for Byron, them time to get out of retirement, guys. It's getting
we must renew his subscription now. It's being a cheapskate.
Oh my heavens. Okay, we're going to have to figure out a plan here.
We need a sponsorship.
There we go. So thoughts, any guys? If you want, let's get a couple of those pro drives out there. Absolutely incredible stuff. Yuri Umpiswat. And before I let you go on that, many people have asked, why Umpi? Why the Yuri Umpiswat?
Oh,
can you let us know a quick one of why that is a thing?
Well, I used to be quite a little chunker back in my day, so the name Oompa Loompa, that's pretty much it. You can get the gist of where Oompy came from then. I used to be well-rounded. Let's just put it that way. So the name Oompa Loompa came, and then it became Oompy, shortened, and I prefer it to Yuri. Yuri sounds too serious. I'm not a serious guy.
Only when the visor comes down.
100%. That's why they say Yuri in the commentary.
Okay. And so, 2 reasons he gets serious is when the spanners come hauling out, because it's probably followed with an angle grinder if it's getting irritated. and when the visor comes down. But Yuri, go and enjoy. Have a fantastic one and enjoy the celebrations. Phenomenal drive out there.
Sure. Thanks, man. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, absolutely incredible stuff. Well, we got to hear from Luke Lucchese, Justin Eloff, and Yuri Umpi-Swart, folks. What an exciting time out at the beautiful Donington. And I've got to say, for the heart of motorsport, Donington Park has hosted virtually every form of motorsport, from Formula 1, touring car, MotoGP, Superbike. Well, they can add to the list of Raceface.Pro GT3 sprint race. We're looking forward to some great times coming out. So in 2 weeks' time, we will be heading out to the Centerton 300. Next week, though, in the world of iRacing, we're going to be having round 3 of our Supercars versus BMW M2s. If you want to see a David versus Goliath, that is what you want to tune in for. It's absolutely incredible. Fixed setup series that you can be a part of to see all the amazing action here at Raceface, and also joining part of it. I mean, why not? They're stunning cars to drive, and the BMW is free. Fill out that grid. But the supercars are better. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you go and join up on Simgrid. Tomorrow night, we have some ACC action heading to you, so make sure you join in for that. And on Thursday as well, our Pro and Pro-Am will be live streamed by Tristan Herbst and myself. But, like always, thank you very much for joining us. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, leave us a like. Let us know what your favorite part of the race was, because it's always fantastic to see the comments going absolutely wild here at Raceface.Pro. And like always, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, everybody. From myself, it's Stephen Koenig at THT Productions.
With all the amazing racing